These are 7 shocking moments when cops exposed a doctor's evil secret. Starting with the disturbing case of a doctor who took her own daughter's life in the most horrifying way imaginable. On June 27, 2025, around 3:41 a.m., officers responded to a home in El Portal, Florida, after reports that a 4-year-old girl had been found unresponsive in a swimming pool. The child and her mother, 36-year-old Dr. Neha Gupta, a pediatrician from Oklahoma City, had arrived at the rental property a day earlier for vacation. Gupta told officials she carried her daughter inside and woke her for dinner around 9 p.m. The child went to sleep at about 12:30 a.m., and around 3:20 a.m., Gupta said she woke up after hearing an unidentified noise. That was when she discovered her daughter submerged in the pool, but she couldn't rescue her because she didn't know how to swim. First responders pronounced the 4-year-old dead at the scene, and at first, the case was treated as an accidental drowning. But that changed when forensic evidence did not align with Dr. Gupta's story. The autopsy showed no water in the child's lungs or stomach, which ruled out drowning. The medical examiner also found cuts inside the mouth and on the cheeks, which were signs of smothering. The girl's stomach was empty, which contradicted Gupta's claim that she had eaten dinner hours earlier. Investigators then concluded that Gupta staged the scene to make the killing appear accidental. With the arrest warrant in place, it was time to put her in cuffs.
Open the door! Do it now!
I still think that. Breach.
Neha Gupta, come to the front door! Do it now!
Breach.
U.S. Marshals, we have a warrant for your arrest! Come to the front door!
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of come back around, so just hold what you got there.
Hands! Come out!
Contact
On the ground. Come here.
Gupta was found hiding in a laundry room before officers took her into custody. She was extradited to Florida a few days later, where prosecutors reduced the initial charge to aggravated manslaughter of a child and later to second-degree murder. She pleaded not guilty and remains held without bond at the Miami-Dade County Jail as she awaits trial. At least Gupta will answer for her cruelty. But what happens when a caregiver impregnates an incapacitated patient? It all started on December 29, 2018, when Phoenix PD responded to Hacienda Healthcare in Arizona after receiving a report that a patient in a vegetative state had unexpectedly given birth. A caregiver had opened the woman's diaper and was stunned to see a baby's head. What followed would expose one of the most unsettling cases the department had ever seen.
I was in the room, and I was like, oh my God, he's great. He's right there.
So what happened? What do you see? She just step out and because she's just in a little shock.
Yeah,
Okay.
She's very emotional. Only allowed to have female caregivers.
Okay.
So I know mom, sister, and brother have been here to see her, but they see her out in the day room. I'm the UL. I'm in charge on the weekend. So during the week, I only work Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Does she get male visitors other than family?
Does she ever go home? That's
Wendy doesn't go home at all.
Okay.
She never goes home.
When I looked, it wasn't really had the baby coming.
Okay. Did anyone know she was pregnant?
I didn't know. I didn't know she was pregnant.
Do you know how the visitations here work?
Honestly, no.
Honestly, no? Okay. And then does she have any male staff that work with her?
No.
Are there any male janitors, anyone that goes into the rooms unattended by themselves, as far as you know?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, and she just has a full female staff, usually.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And she never goes home, as far as you know?
As far as I know, I've never seen her go home at all.
And then as far as you know, the only people that are visitors, just family?
Yeah, mom, dad, mom, sister, and the brother. We have
staff or anyone that has
male
access.
staff, but
Yeah.
Wendy is only female care only.
Okay, so no males ever go into her room, allegedly.
At first, there were no clear suspects, especially since the victim had only been cared for by female caregivers. Checking the visitation logs for male visitors led officers nowhere. But soon after, DNA testing linked a nurse at Hacienda Healthcare, Nathan Sutherland, to the baby. Nathan was arrested and later pleaded guilty to sexual assault and abuse of a vulnerable adult. In December 2021, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. The facility faced major scrutiny over how the pregnancy went unnoticed, what kind of supervision was lacking, and how safeguards for incapacitated adults had failed so severely. But what happens when cops expose a fraudulent nurse who's been living under a fake identity? It all began on July 3rd, 2023, when 29-year-old Autumn Bardisa was hired at Advent Health Palm Coast Parkway in Palm Coast, Florida, as an advanced nurse technician under the supervision of a registered nurse. She claimed to have passed the national exam and held a valid RN license, a claim that turned out to be false. After an investigation, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office obtained a warrant for her arrest. But this was only the beginning of an even more shocking discovery.
Hey there, are you Autumn?
Yeah.
Can you step out of the car for me, please?
Sure.
Do me a favor, just turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Oh, wait, what's going on?
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay, my
Hold tight.
car's across the street.
Okay, all right.
Am I being arrested?
You are.
Yeah. Wait,
Hold on,
okay.
hold on.
Can I ask, but can I...
We have plenty of time to talk. There is a felony warrant for your arrest, okay? There is a bond on it, okay, which is good. It's, I believe, $70,000 is the bond amount, okay? You know what all this is about?
Not really. I kind of had something with the Department of Health, but I have my license.
Okay.
And I thought it was squared away because it's clear and active.
Okay. So that does stem from this. A guy with Health and Human Services reached out to you a couple months ago.
Yeah, and I had an attorney, and I haven't heard anything since.
Okay, so the attorney reached out to him and said that you were currently being represented and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a conversation with you, but if you're represented by an attorney and that's somebody that wants to be here for all that kind of questioning, I obviously am limited on where this conversation can go.
Can I know what is a
It has to do with medical fraud. I can get the exact thing. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it has to do with medical and stuff like that.
Okay.
You have 7 counts of identity theft and 7 counts of practicing without a license.
From June 2024 through January 2025, investigators said Bardisa provided care for about 4,486 patients, even though she never held a valid nursing license. In January 2025, she received a promotion offer, which led a coworker to verify her license status. That check revealed Bardisa only had an expired certified nursing assistant license, not the RN credentials she claimed. She used someone else's license number with a different last name, and when asked to show a marriage license to explain the difference, she never did. The hospital terminated her employment that same month, but as detectives dug deeper, they uncovered a web of deception that went way beyond a fake license.
You know, I would say this is greed or wanting a job so bad that you would manipulate a system and assume somebody's identity to be able to practice. You went to school, but you failed the exam. And instead of, and she told them that she was taking an exam, but that's when she produced the identity. And the other ironic part of this case is, and maybe this is how she found this particular individual, she found somebody with her first name, different last name. But how she was able to find is they actually went to school together, but they did not know each other. So somehow she found it, same university, same hiring class, if you will, through Advent, but they never met, they never knew each other. It's a very unusual case, probably one of the most unusual cases that I think we have investigated since I've been sheriff and probably in my career.
As if the allegations could not get worse, Autumn Bardisa sold the diabetes drug Ozempic, often used off-label for weight loss, to a coworker and gave a birth control injection to another employee, both acts that required a valid medical license. Bardisa now faces 7 counts of practicing a healthcare profession without a license and 7 counts of fraudulent use of personal identification. She is held on a $70,000 bond. Thankfully, her deception didn't result in any reported casualties. But what happens when cops expose a doctor who has been assaulting his patients? On March 24th, 2025, Ocala police officers responded to the Cardiovascular Institute of Central Florida after a woman in her 50s reported that her doctor, 65-year-old Dr. Jose Jacob, hugged and kissed her without consent during an appointment. The woman alleged that the doctor asked personal questions about whether she had a husband or boyfriend before touching her inappropriately.
Hey, what's going on today?
I had an appointment here with Dr. Jacob. They called me in to check on me because I was in a hospital because I had chest pains.
Okay.
When I had chest pains, so they told me to come here to make this. I made an appointment to come and see him today. So I was in the room waiting for him. When he came in, he sat down. He told me what was wrong. He examined me, and he told me that I had lymph nodes under my arms. So when he told me with who you live with, I say I live with my son. Do you have a husband? Your husband's working? I said no, my husband's not working. I'm single. I'm separated. When he stand up, I was still sitting down. But when he stand up, he said, "Give me a hug." But I thought he was giving me a hug because they found some lymph nodes under my arm, and they don't know what it is. Okay. So he started, push my body into his body and start kissing me in my mouth.
What do you mean by kissing you in your mouth?
Kissing me,
or is it like using tongue?
He was kissing me and no. Kissing me, trying to,
like that.
Yeah.
Was it on your lips? Was it near your face?
No, my lips. He tried it. He did it twice, but he wanted to keep on doing it. But I was trying to get, stay.
When he told you to give him a hug, did you at any point say no? I don't want a hug.
No, but I thought because what they found under my arm, I thought he felt sorry. That's why I gave him a hug. A hug.
Okay, so you gave him a hug back in that situation.
Yeah, in that situation, I gave him a hug because I thought, because he found whatever he found under my arms.
Okay. Did you stand up to hug him?
No, I was sitting down.
Okay, so you remained seating when he hugged you?
No, wait a minute. I was sitting down when he told me give me a hug. Correct. I stand up.
We're going to go talk to him, kind of see what's going on. Because it very well, I'm not discrediting what you're saying, but it could be maybe a misunderstanding. Some people are very touchy and friendly in how they say goodbye.
But kissing you in your mouth?
Okay, maybe he could have misplaced. He went to kiss you here.
But once the officer talks to Jacob, the case takes a clearer turn.
We're here today because obviously we got reported an incident that there may have been some unwanted touching that occurred during one of your visits with the patient. During that visit, whenever you were saying goodbye, what was that encounter like?
Nothing special, man. She had some axillary issues, so I checked that, and that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little more specific because I'm trying to let you explain to me. So whenever you were saying goodbye, at any point in time, did you pull her in when you hugged her?
Absolutely.
No, you didn't kiss her on the lips.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So you didn't hug her at all.
No.
You didn't even touch her.
No, I did only the exam with the gloves on. That's it.
Okay, so how'd you leave? Did you just say goodbye?
Yes. I shook hands and said goodbye. That's it.
We're getting a whole different story.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm not saying you're lying or anything. But if it comes down to that and you are lying, you understand there's severe consequences for that, right?
Yes.
So is there any reason why she would be saying these things?
I think she has fibromyalgia and pain all over, and I don't know why she's saying that, but I only did the exam. Like a physician, I'm supposed to.
For someone who treats countless patients, Jacob never bothered to ask which one the case involved, almost as if he already knew. But when cops speak with staff members, what they uncover is deeply disturbing.
I guess we're trying to figure out, is this normal behavior? Has anyone ever reported anything like this?
I have had one report.
With this doctor?
With this doctor. That's why I wanted to come over here, because this will be number 2, and then we will zero tolerance that. And he received a letter last time that if this happened again, regardless of the circumstances, it was.
When did that last incident happen?
It was probably, golly, I can't remember. It's been months. It was months ago.
Like within the last year?
So internally, we spoke to the patient, and then he received a letter that said this is and his story of what happened in that he was on a stool and fell off and fell in towards the patient, and it was just fishy. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
I fell off plenty of places and no one's ever accused me of, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
There was one other thing that I had from a patient a few months ago. It was discussed with him at the time, and it was another Hispanic female, so I don't know what the deal is with that, but I had to deal with her, and then she had to call her husband here. We ended up switching everything out, profusely apologized, because of course you never know the situation.
Right.
But we did make sure that she was transferred from his care, never to see him again.
And this was the same incident Randy's telling us about?
Similar, yes.
Similar?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what happened today. So, but I know that there was.
But no, like, to your knowledge, no employees that have came forward and said he makes me uncomfortable.
He's only here 2 days a week, and his nurse is Sarah. So obviously, he's not going to make anything towards her because she is not a heterosexual woman. But he's never with her. They brought things up where he's on like weird Facebook pages and stuff, like with like women over 50 and stuff like that. So I mean, there's been some red flags, but like I said, I don't want to compromise my position here.
Yeah.
At my job, I've been here since 2011. I'm a manager.
No, I totally understand.
But yeah, I was involved in the last incident with that female. She was a much younger female in her 40s.
Apparently, this wasn't the first sexual assault allegation made against Dr. Jacob, something he denied during his first interaction with the female officer.
Why'd you lie to us earlier? Because we know that you lied when you said that nothing like this has ever been reported or happened, correct?
I don't.
You don't know what you're talking about? You were never written up with work?
No. I mean,
65.
The one time, one patient on a stool. So I got up, and then when I was going out, I fell onto her, and she reported saying I was trying to do something.
Okay, so that would have been worth mentioning, right? Yeah. That's a report of something similar to this, correct?
No, it's not similar. I mean, I didn't.
It is. It's a report of sexual conduct, right? So why didn't you mention that earlier?
Because I didn't think it was inappropriate on my side.
So there's obviously reports of this prior, right? There's prior incidents that are kind of similar. Hispanic female, 50s, reports of kissing on the mouth. So what actually happened? Yeah, that was reported earlier, and you know that.
I know.
You don't need to act dumb. You know that.
I didn't do that.
Listen to me. You know that because it was reported to you as a misconduct, and you signed off on it. And they're going to provide that to us. You understand that? So now would be the time to be honest and tell us what happened today.
That did not happen, man. I didn't do that. So, you can say what you want. You can provide anything.
I'm not accusing you. I'm telling you I don't believe you.
Yes.
Because clearly you're not telling us what happened. And we have no video surveillance, and then now we have a victim crying in the parking lot, and you're sitting here shrugging your shoulders saying, no, nothing happened.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Well, don't apologize to me. I'm not the one crying.
I know. I'm sorry, I didn't. Looking back, I don't think I did anything that would make someone cry. I was only trying to comfort her.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out.
Give her the courage, as a physician, give her the courage to face what she's got going. That's all I did.
Given that the victim's account matched earlier complaints from other women and Jacob's story was inconsistent, investigators found the accusation even more credible. A warrant was issued, and on March 28, 2025, he was arrested by Lake County authorities. Jacob was charged with battery involving a medical professional and a patient. The case was later settled through a pretrial intervention agreement. Under its terms, he had to complete 9 months of supervision, undergo an evaluation, and have no contact with the victim instead of facing full prosecution. If a doctor assaulting his patients violates the very trust that defines his profession, how does it compare to when cops exposed a doctor for poisoning IV bags? In the summer of 2022, staff at the Surgicare Center of Dallas began noticing that healthy patients were suffering sudden cardiac emergencies during routine surgeries. The situation turned deadly when Dr. Melanie Kaspar, an anesthesiologist at the same clinic, took an IV bag home to rehydrate herself on June 21st, 2022, and died within hours. Following her death and the growing number of medical emergencies, federal and local investigators, including the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's Office of Criminal Investigations and Dallas Police, launched a probe and soon stumbled upon a crucial piece of evidence.
In one of the videos, Ortiz can be seen taking IV bags from this warming bin and then replacing them right after. And those bags were then carried into operating rooms, and the patients the IV saline was given to, they suffered these sudden cardiac emergencies. You have another video where Ortiz is seen taking a vial out of a cabinet and an IV bag out of the warmer. In another one, Ortiz walks down the hall, opens the warmer, looks inside, shuts it again, possibly checking to see if the ones he tampered were still in there. There are videos that also show Ortiz mixing up vials of medication and even watching his victims, as Dave said, were wheeled out of the operating room by emergency responders. He has to know what he did.
This is Dr. Raynaldo Ortiz, a 60-year-old anesthesiologist who was captured on bodycam swapping IV bags and tampering with the warmer. It was later discovered that he injected the bags with strong anesthetic drugs like bupivacaine and epinephrine, which led to deadly medical crises after they were used in operations shortly afterward. Ortiz was arrested and charged with 5 counts of intentional adulteration manipulation of a drug, 5 counts of tampering with a consumer product resulting in serious bodily injury, and 1 count of tampering with a consumer product. In November 2024, a federal jury found him guilty on all 10 counts, and he was sentenced to 190 years in federal prison. Authorities say Dr. Ortiz's motive was driven by anger and revenge after facing disciplinary action for a previous medical error. Feeling targeted by colleagues and fearing the loss of his position and reputation, he tampered with IV bags to shift blame away from himself and make it appear that the clinic's problems weren't his fault. It's shocking to think Dr. Ortiz believed poisoning patients would clear his name. But what happens when a nurse shows up to work highly intoxicated? On August 26, 2024, in Michigan City, Indiana, LaPorte County Police responded to reports of 52-year-old nurse Candice Vanwaardenburg driving recklessly before crashing into a parked car outside Franciscan Health. Witnesses said she then pulled into another space in a disorderly manner before being taken into the hospital in a wheelchair. Candice was in scrubs and reportedly about to begin a 12-hour shift, but instead was admitted as a patient.
What happened?
I was dizzy.
Okay.
That's why they got me in here.
Okay. Were you coming here to be seen, or were you coming here for your shift, or?
I was coming in here for my shift.
Okay.
And I didn't know.
Okay.
I was like almost passing out.
Okay. Okay.
So.
What's your last memory? Like, what's your memory like?
My memory was, my husband called me, and he said, "You seem off." I drove in, and I thought I could come in, but then I got out of my truck, and I was.
No,
I got dizzy.
Candice claims she had no memory of driving recklessly and only remembered feeling dizzy after pulling into the parking lot. At first, it appeared to be a medical issue.
We have to know where you were normal last.
Otherwise,
there's a risk if we give it to you incorrectly.
I get that. I felt bad probably like an hour before I got here. I'm in trouble.
Why would you be in trouble? We're just trying to figure out why cars got hit also.
I got out of the truck and I didn't even think I could walk in here. I worked for 6 months because I broke and dislocated my shoulder, and I just came back last week.
Okay.
I worked 3 days last week, and then this was supposed to be my next week, and
okay. Were you drinking at all?
I drank this morning.
This morning?
Just to get myself to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I got up like at 3 o'clock this morning.
What were you drinking then?
Oh, it was just Trulies.
The Trulies?
Yeah. I drank a couple of those so I could go back to sleep and come to work tonight.
Okay.
It's not like a habit or anything.
It doesn't take long before Candice admits to drinking just before coming in from her shift. It was time to get her to perform a blood test, but the end result was extremely unexpected.
I have probable cause to believe that you have operated a vehicle while intoxicated. I must now offer you the opportunity to submit to a chemical test and inform you that your refusal to submit to a chemical test will result in the suspension of your driving privileges for 1 year.
I don't refuse.
Okay, so the 2 chemical tests are either through blood or through breath, right? And the doctor has already taken your blood and has an alcohol content. That doctor will tell me how much alcohol was in your blood at the time of the blood draw tonight. So do you consent to him telling me that?
If I don't consent, then...
If you don't consent, your license is going to be suspended for a year.
No.
And I'm going to file for a subpoena for your medical records.
No.
And I'm still going to do that.
I'll consent.
After showing clear signs of intoxication, Candice agreed to a blood test, which revealed a blood alcohol level of 0.416, nearly 5 times Indiana's legal limit.
I'm right here. Okay, I'm right here. It's gonna be okay.
Oh my gosh.
It's just me. Nobody needs to know. All right. It's okay.
Put your hands behind your right.
Okay.
You're gonna wait till she gets a pad. One second. We're gonna wait till she gets a pad. I'm gonna put a pad down on the seat.
Watch you get that, right?
If you have good friends that want to call, you know, by all means, I can do that.
For a nurse trusted to care for others, the result was beyond embarrassing. It was alarming and raised questions about how someone in her condition could have been allowed anywhere near patients. Candice was later arrested and charged with operating while intoxicated and leaving the scene of an accident. Candice will be held accountable for her reckless actions. But what happens when cops expose a doctor preying on minors? It all started in November 2022 when a 13-year-old girl took her own life. Investigators later discovered that she had been chatting online with someone using the name MaximumUncle #9112. When police traced the username, it led to an IP address registered to Dr. Stephen Andrew Leedy, a 59-year-old palliative care physician from St. Petersburg, Florida, who worked with terminally ill patients. Further investigation revealed that the same account had contacted several minors, sending disturbing messages that encouraged self-harm and sexual acts. A BLO was issued for Leedy, and on December 19, 2024, Holly Springs police officers, during what seemed like a routine traffic stop, pulled him over, only to realize he was the man they'd been searching for.
Step out. Step out of the car.
I'm sorry, what's going on?
What's your train front and back? Alrighty, let's talk with her. Sit right here. You got any weapons on you?
No, sir. I'm assuming this is a case of mistaken identity. I know nothing of a warrant. I'm gainfully employed. I'm a physician. I've had no notice of anything. I've had no...
You don't get notified when there's a warrant out for arrest.
Well, but I'm saying I've had... All right, one second before we talk to you, okay?
The investigation uncovered a clear pattern of online exploitation involving minors. Leedy allegedly targeted children through digital communication, manipulated them to create explicit material, and encourage harmful behavior. Because the alleged victims were underage and the actions crossed state lines, the matter became a federal case. Leedy was later arrested and indicted on multiple federal charges related to child exploitation and coercion. If found guilty on all counts, he could face a life sentence in federal prison.